What's happening, my friends? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. Now, as usual, before I get started, let me give a shout out to the JBT community. It's just boxing talk. We're a group of people who just love to talk boxing. And we're always looking for others to join us. And you don't have to have a podcast. The only requirement is you just have to love to talk boxing. That's all. Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Mike Masick, just do boxing. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Box Historian. Today, women in boxing. How's everybody doing this afternoon? You know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Historian. And that's me, your friendly neighborhood box historian, bringing you all that boxing history. That's right, boxing, the greatest sport of them all. And that's why we love it and can't get enough of it. Corey Franks, 757, hashtag JBT in the building. Salute, Corey Franks. How are you today, bro? Well, it's Thursday, pulling up on another weekend. I believe we got 4 more cards. You know, we had 5 this week. We had Pro Box yesterday. I believe it's a card tomorrow. And we got 3 cards Saturday. And I got the wrong picture up there. That's the thumbnail right there. My slide presentation today, they're going to be a little fuzzy because I just couldn't get something wasn't working right with my equipment today, but I got them in. But they're not exactly clear. But you'll see what we're talking about. We're going to talk about women in boxing today, you know, because I'm always profiling the men. You know, when I did the Southpaw show or the switch hitters, the power punchers, it's always profiling the men. So we're going to talk about women all day today. Got a whole bunch of women I'm going to do profiles on because they get in there and put it on the line for our entertainment too. So we can't leave them out. Can't forget the women. And we got some great, like that one right there on the screen. Vote. And we're going to talk about some former women's boxers. And we're going to talk about some active women's boxing, okay? Got a bunch of them. We're going to go a little brief history of women's boxing. And then I got like a timeline, you know, not every year, but, you know, coming all up from the 1700s up to now. Let's talk briefly about the history of boxing and some significant events that happened over the years. And let's real quick touch on those NBA playoffs from last night. One game on tap last night. The Western Conference Finals began. Dallas Mavericks went on the road and got a big road win in Game 1 in Minnesota to take a 1-0 lead in that series. Dallas came from behind to take a 108-105 win. Dallas was led by Luka Doncic, had 33 points. That's his name. Doncic had 33. Kyrie added 30. And Lively pulled down 13 big rebounds. That was key. In a losing cause for the T-Wolves, McDaniel had led the T-Wolves with 24. Game 2 of that series will be tomorrow. And the Eastern Conference resumes tonight in Boston for Game 2. Boston with a 1-0 lead in that series. NBA action is fantastic. Yeah, I really get into it this time of the year because that's really when they start playing The rest of the season, they just running up and down, no defense. Some of the guys just come across half court. When the rebound come down, they run back the other way, hollering for the ball. You don't play no defense, I get the rebound, I'm dribbling it all the way up the court and shooting it. Yeah. But it's time for some more boxing history. And how's everybody doing this Thursday afternoon? We had Pro Box last night too. Touch on that briefly. I was really running late today. Spent all night getting this women's show together. Miss Cass kept asking me what time I'm going to bed. I don't think I went to bed. Mike Grimm in the building. What's up, Mike Grimm? It's good to see Mike Grimm back in the building. Yes. How are you, Mike? Very good to see you. Looks like everything went well for Mike. This recent operation he had. That's great. Good to see you, Mike Grimm. Salute. Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT in the building. What's up, T Hill? How are you today? Oh, it's going to be a good day now. Got my friend Mike Grimm back in the building. Yes. T Hill, Corey Fink 757, hashtag JBT. The voice is in here. Mike Grimm. And of course, Miss Cass, hashtag JBT is in here. Yeah, we're going to have a good day today. Starting to look forward to this 2 o'clock every day. Interact with my friends on this boxing history. And remember, any shows that anybody wants to see or anything, just put it in the chat. Because, Wednesday is the day where I do the suggestions. Yesterday's show was brought to us by Al Booger. Remember the judges' criteria. Hope everybody enjoyed it. And tomorrow is Profile Day, and it's going to be the Will o' the Wisp. Willie Pep, defensive master. We're going to talk about Willie, arguably one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time. I put him, Pernell Whitaker, and Floyd at the top. There's a couple of other ones too. And Willie Pep is also arguably the greatest featherweight of all time. And we're going to get into him tomorrow. Once he had those 4 fights with Sandy Sadler. That 4th one was nasty. That's widely thought of as the dirtiest fight of all time. But guess what? After that, when they retired, they became best of friends and did exhibitions together once their careers were over. Yep. Because you get in there and beat each other's brains out 4 times. Yeah, you get a respect for each other, naturally. They became great friends. Mike says, he's still in the hospital. Can't figure out my pain on my birthday. Today's your birthday, Mike? Happy birthday to Mike Grimm, everybody. Today is Mike Grimm's birthday. Happy birthday, Mike. I know you're in the hospital, but I still hope your day goes well for you. And you have a good birthday. But it's good to see you in the building. Anyway, for this Women in Boxing show. I was putting in there. Wow. Bear with me for 1 second. I need to go back and do this over. I'm glad I finally got Mike's name right. I was saying Mike Rhyme all this time. Then one day I heard Jay Hardcore say Mike Grimm, and I said, oh, man. He's spelling it wrong. But yeah, we're going to touch on Pro Box around 2:30, about 10 more minutes, 5 or 10 more minutes. Then we're going to get into the show. But how's everybody's day going? Mine is going well. Especially now that I'm here with my friends. Did y'all catch that Ed McQueen was on today with another Casuals Corner breakdown? Another great one. Ed McQueen been doing some great work over there. Wow. Like I always say, you have not watched a fight until you watch one after watching a Casuals Corner. You'll see all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I finally got it right. I had Happy Nerf Day. Happy birthday. There we go. Happy birthday to Mike Grimm. He's in the building, back in the building with us. Yeah, that's right, Mike Mason. We're all wishing Mike a complete and full, speedy recovery. And it's his birthday. But yeah, the big card, 3 cards Saturday, but the big one is the rematch between Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor. Who y'all got this time? I think it'll be similar. I got Jack Catterall again, just because they robbed the man. The man should have been in the history books as one of the 4-belt undisputeds. It's actually 19 of them now, 9 men and 10 women, and 5 in 2 4-belt undisputed in 2 weight classes. You know, Clarissa did it first, then Bud Crawford, then Katie Taylor and Monster did it a month apart last year. Katie got her second 4-belt undisputed in November, and Monster got his in December. And Usyk got his last Saturday. It seemed like months ago now. It was just last Saturday, a week ago. Let's Talk Fashion, aka Remo. Hashtag JBT in the building. What's up, Remo? I know we all done. Why does he always come right here by my window every day at 2? Cutting the grass, you know. And it's Murphy's Law, I guess. 2 o'clock, be right by the window. I had that nice breeze coming through there. I had to close it, but it's all good. At least it's getting cut, right? So what's up, Remo? Like I was saying before I got interrupted by the lawnmower, it's another Friday. Hashtag Let's Talk Fashion out there. Yeah. But ProBox, Bomac was on there again. He had he had the guy that was fighting Red Catch. The other guy, but Ivan was from Ukraine. The Ukraine had been on a roll the last few weeks or so. Remember, Lomachenko started it out with his win over George Kambosos, and then Usyk got his, and then Dennis, what's his name, Baranchek, something like that. He got his over Navarrete, and Red Catch messed up the run. He lost. He was from Ukraine. He lives in California now, but he lost. Ukraine had been on a run in boxing, yeah. But Adam Blue Nose Lopez lost too. But that was about the best fight of the card, yeah. That was the co-main. He lost to Cardoso. That was a good scrap. Yeah. I came in on the second fight. Somehow I had forgot all about ProBox, and I was on this other guy's channel. I think he's called The Boxing Force. Pretty good show. And he mentioned that he was watching ProBox. I said, oh, that's right. But I came in on the second televised fight. It was good. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time Bomac's been on there. He manages the guy that beat I'm not even gonna mess with his name. Yeah. But another good ProBox started it off for us, and then it's a card tomorrow. I can't remember where it's from, and then 3 Saturday, with the biggie being Jack Catterall and Josh Taylor. You know, I get ready to say Josh Catterall and Jack Taylor. Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor. But that's a shame, isn't it? That man will never get another shot at Undisputed in his life. Likely won't. You know, because Undisputed don't come along every day. And then you win it and get robbed. That is crazy. But at least he gets another shot at Josh. And this is not for any belts, but, you know, they really don't like each other either. So the press conference is today. Oh, man, I got to see that. I'll watch it later. The final presser is today and the weigh-in tomorrow. I remember the last press conference they had, Josh Taylor was choking Jack. He had his hand on his neck and had his neck right in between the thumb and that finger next to it. That's the choke hole there, man. And you can see his fingers sticking up into Jack Catterall's neck. And the guy got between them. Yeah. That's real dislike. That was not fake. Yeah, the co-main wasn't it, Mike? That was a good fight. The judges got it right. Yeah. I think it was a split decision. I think Blue Nose actually won on one judge's call. But Blue Nose better in there against some top guys, man. He fought Oscar Valdez twice. He fought a couple other big name guys. Yeah, the guy from Isaac Dogby, and another big name guy. Yeah, and of course the guy that beat Red Catch last night with the long name. He's from Kazakhstan, however you pronounce that country. His only loss came to Subriel Matias. You know, his only loss. So that ain't nothing to hang your head about. A whole lot of people been knocked out by Subriel. And Subriel's coming up the same day as Tank, June 15th. He's fighting Liam Paro. Yeah, Liam Paro was the one that beat, having trouble with these names today. He beat a guy that I think, isn't it the guy that carries the dog around with him? You know what I'm talking about. What's his name, T. Hill? The guy that Liam Paro beat. Brings his dog sometimes. He's the one that threw the guy over the top rope, remember? And got disqualified. Yeah. The guy was giving it to him pretty good, and he threw the guy over the top rope. And the guy stuck the landing right on his feet. That could have been bad. Yeah, he threw the guy over the top rope, and the guy landed on his feet. Man. He got a 10 for that landing. Whew. That could have been real bad, man. Not through the ropes, over the top. Yeah. He should have not only been disqualified, he should have got a suspension, a fine, all of that out of that move, man. That was a WWF move. You know? Yeah. Steve Sparks, that's the one that, yeah. But what was the guy named that threw him over, T. Hill? That's the one that Liam Paro stopped the last time he fought him. Yeah, Steve Sparks is the guy that went over the rope. I was trying to figure out the guy that threw him over, whatever his name was. And up to, if anybody wants a certain profile done on Fridays, you can come up with the name of a former boxer too. Because when I did Salvador Sanchez, that was about Trump. I haven't seen Trump in a while. Yeah, he used to be here every day. He came every day for a while, and then when I gave him a wrench, he disappeared. But he'll be back. He deserved the wrench because he was here every day for a minute, and then, putting good stuff in the chat throughout the shows he was here. So yeah, he'll be back. Yeah. But everybody ready for the weekend? If you're not, you better get ready because it's upon us. My weekend start on Thursday. Yeah. Plus, we got a card tomorrow. I did see 5 at the beginning of the week. I don't know about now because we had the Pro Box one Friday, 3 Saturday. And don't forget the raffle. We have a raffle for a 55-inch TV to be announced at the JBT meet and greet. Here's the Cash App right here. Cash App in the chat for you. Just send $10 or. If you want 5 tickets, send $50. If you want 10 tickets, send $100, and you will be in. And guess who the JBT treasurer is? Yours truly. Yep, me. And the money's getting up there. You're making my flight reservation soon. No. Just kidding. There's this Cash App right there. Aunt McQueen in the building. No, there's Melanin Queen 27 in the building. Aunt McQueen is probably listening. But salute Queen. Melanin Queen 27 has joined us. And we're talking about women in boxing today. Yep. Because like I was saying, the women get in there and put it on the line and entertain us too. And I'm always doing profiles on men. Every kind of show I do. So I got a whole bunch of women I'm going to profile today. Talk about their careers. Maybe a little about their lives. Women in boxing. And first we're going to start out with a little history of women's boxing. I got like a timeline. started in the 1700s and come forward. That was the first known fight. First known women's fight was in I think it was 1722. I'll tell you in a minute. In about a couple minutes. Lonnie Lee got here early yesterday. Yeah. Well, salute to Melanin Queen 27, everybody. One of the queens of the JBT. Along with Miss Cass, Miss Joette, Barbara D, Heather E, Melanin Queen 27, yeah. I love to see the ladies talking about boxing because I got a boxing wife. And I don't bet her anymore, neither. Because when she wins a bet, she talks about it for a while and rubs it in. And I'm the box story. I'm not supposed to be losing bets on boxing to my wife. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Yeah. But she knows boxing. Yeah. I was sitting there last Saturday bragging about how Fury was going to be too big and that he was going to do the Usyk, and she was sitting there talking Usyk up, and then I had to get quiet. You saw what happened. You had to get quiet. My man was losing, lost. Usyk had him flopping all over the ring in that 9th round. Yeah. But let's get ready to get started. Everybody ready? Yeah, I started at 2:30, so my regulars won't miss too much of the show. Like Lonnie Lee's coming, Al Booker, Jay Hardcore might stop by. What's his name? Oh, Ray Patterson. Another one of our New Jerseyans. Is that how you say it? New Jerseyan? Yeah. Ray Patterson and Just New Boxing. Slick Shakur Stevenson. Because remember, Shakur don't have a nickname, so I gave him one. Slick Shakur Stevenson from New Jersey. I think Shakur is going to demonstrate on Artem in his next fight. Watch. Okay. Women in boxing. Now, I was saying the slide presentation is a little shady today because something wasn't right on my laptop and it wouldn't go into the pictures, and then it was real fuzzy. I got it fixed for the last few, but starting out it might be a little bad. Okay, so I apologize for that. Okay, let me take the music down a notch. Red Knuckles ain't here anymore. Al Booker had took his place. About the music. How's that? That's good. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about women in boxing. Cass Sports, your friendly neighborhood box story, bringing you all that boxing is. The greatest sport of them all, boxing. That's why we love it and can't get enough of it. I can't get to the top. Oh, I did it again. You know why I couldn't get to the top of the slide display? Because I was already at the top. No wonder it wasn't moving. I would have never got to the top if I'd kept on trying because I was already there. Yeah, Clarissa is the top. Okay. Take the chat out. Yeah, don't forget about the raffle. Get your ticket. 55-inch TV. I want it, but I don't think it would be good if I won it. The appearance wouldn't be good. So, okay. Now, women in boxing. Now, although women have participated in boxing for almost as long as the sport has existed, female fights have been effectively outlawed for most of boxing's history, okay? With athletic commissioners refusing to sanction or issue licenses to women boxers. And most nations officially banned the sport, okay? Now, reports of women entering the ring goes as far back as the 18th century. Now, one such instance was a fight in London between Elizabeth Wilkinson and Hannah Highfield. And that was in 1722. That's one of the first known fights between two women, 1722. Okay? One of the earliest known women's boxing matches. Now, we got a little timeline. Gonna jump through the years. But in 1876, the New York Hills Theater held a boxing match between Nell Saunders and Rose Harlan. And this is considered the first female boxing match in the United States. And the top prize was the winner won a silver butter dish. Okay? A silver butter dish went to the winner. Not a belt, a silver butter dish. Okay? Then, in 1904, men and women's boxing were introduced at the modern Olympics Games in St. Louis, Missouri as display events. Okay, that was in 1904, right? It was just as a display event. Now, men's boxing was accepted as a regular sport in the Olympics, and women's boxing was not accepted. Women didn't get back into the Olympics until 1912. Okay? Then in 1954, Barbara Buttrick. She's the first female boxer to have a fight broadcast on national television. And she fought as a 98-pound flyweight, 98 pounds. And she was only 4 feet, 11 inches tall. Flyweight. 98 pounds, 4 feet, 11. I think under a certain weight, everything was flyweight. They didn't have junior flyweight or strawweight or any of that. So you're 98 pounds, 4 feet, 11, you were a flyweight. Okay? Then in 1975, Eva Shane, we talked about her the other day when we was talking about judges, remember? Eva Shane became the first female boxing judge, okay, in boxing history. And she went on to judge many professional fights, including a world heavyweight title fight and 50 other title fights in other divisions. And the heavyweight title fight was between Muhammad Ali and Ernie Shavers. That was 1977. And Eva Shane stated, it wasn't the idea of being a trailblazer. It was just something I wanted to do. It was a challenge to me. That's why she did it, you know. She wasn't trying to be a trailblazer or first. She just wanted to be a boxing judge, right? And she got her license in 1975. And also in 1975, Nevada issued the first female boxing license to Caroline Benson. And then in the following 3 years, California, New York followed suit. Because I remember a lady sued in New York in 1976. I forgot her name. To get a license because they wouldn't issue licenses to women in New York in 1976. The New York State Athletic Commission was sued, and the lady won her case, and she got a boxing license in New York. Yeah. All right, everybody smashing on the appreciation button. You know, the appreciation button is the like button in the JBT. Like button is called appreciation button here, and I would appreciate it. You get it? Thank you very much. Okay. In 1979, okay, a successful lawsuit brought by Shirley Tucker and the ACLU forced California to change their regulations that had limited women's fights to no more than 4 rounds. So before 1979 in California, women could only fight 4 rounds. But this lady by the name of Shirley Tucker and the ACLU sued them and won. Okay, so that ended that. 4-round limit to women's fights. The women are starting to make progress in the sport as we get into the 70s, 80s. In April 1987, Marion Tremilliard stages a month-long hunger strike, advocating for better conditions, pay, and recognition for women boxers. And she staged a month-long hunger strike. Wow. She had to eat something. She snuck and ate. She didn't go with a whole month without eating. Hardcore boxing news, hashtag JBT. J Hardcore. JH Hardcore. H stands for Hangout. What's up, Jay? We're talking about women in boxing today. J Hardcore is the creator of this great organization we call the JBT. What an idea he had. That's off to J Hardcore. He came up with this, man. Yeah. And I think, I'm taking credit for this. After J Hardcore, I think I was the first one to put JBT behind the name. I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tim Layton was close behind me. Yeah. Lonnie Lee, GP, Eric Thomas Hill, the mayor of YouTube. The mayor of YouTube is a member of the JBT. Just think about that. Got to be a great organization. Thomas Hill joined it. Yeah. But salute to J Hardcore. We were at 1987 when Marion Tremilliard staged a month-long hunger strike. You know, she was advocating for better conditions, pay, and recognition for the women's boxing. And just think, she did that in 1979, and right now in 2024, women are still fighting to get 12 3-minute rounds across the board for championship fights. They still don't have that. Now, if you fight for Jake Paul, you get 12 3-minute rounds of championship fights. A few months back, Jake had on his last card, the one where Amanda Serrano got hurt and Jake moved to the main event. He had a prospect fight for 4 rounds on there, right? But those were 4 3-minute rounds. Yeah, Jake's getting them paid. He's giving them 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. And championship fights are 12 rounds. Amanda Serrano said she wasn't fighting any more 10-round, 2-minute championship fights. And she dropped the WBC. Gave it back to Mauricio. Because Mauricio is the holdout. The WBA, IBF, and WBO sanctions the 12 3 minutes for women. But the WBC refuses, though. Amanda gave them their belt back. So when she fights now, it's just for those 3 belts. But it's for 12 3-minute rounds, though. Amanda says she's not doing no 10-round 2 minutes. I don't understand the reason for that. Anybody know? I don't get it. You know? Is it injury? You can get hurt in 10 2-minute rounds just as fast as you can get hurt in 12 3-minute rounds, right? And 2 minutes, you know, you get warmed up in the round, getting your groove. Then all of a sudden you got 1 minute left. Whereas the 3 minutes, you got that middle minute in there, you know, it just changes your whole strategy to have 3 minutes, you know? So maybe they'll get that done eventually, across the board. I hope so. But this lady went on a hunger strike in 1987 to get stuff like that, and still, women still not getting across the board. Some of them are. If you're with Jake Paul, you do. In 1988, Sweden becomes the first country to lift a ban on women's amateur boxing. And that was the country in 1912, where they had the Olympics in Sweden in 1912. And boxing was not included because Sweden banned boxing overall in their country. In 1912, it was not in the Olympics there. And now in 1988, they became the first country to lift a ban on women's amateur boxing. So progress is getting made. Okay? In 1992, Gail Grandchamp, what a name, Gail Grandchamp, wins an 8-year legal battle for the right to fight. The judge ruled that it is illegal to deny someone the right to fight based on their gender, okay? This judge ruled for Gail. He said it's illegal to to deny somebody from becoming a boxer just because of their gender. Okay. Then in 1993, Dallas Malloy and the ACLU filed a lawsuit against USA Boxing. USA Boxing settled and lifted the ban prohibiting women from boxing. Okay, 1993. Then in October 1993, Dallas Malloy, in her first fight, she defeats Heather Horner by decision in the United States. Okay, 1995. The New York Golden Gloves include women for the first time in 1995. And the New York Golden Gloves was going on since 1926. It took them 70 years. No, 69. Yeah, 1995, 1926. 69 years. Yeah, and I'm the treasurer. 69 years, right? The New York Golden Gloves started in 1926, and they did not include women until 1995. Ray Patterson, straight out of New Jersey, in the building. What's up, RP? Welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Box Story. Talking this boxing history. Women in boxing today. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. And that's why we love it. We can't get enough of it. Boxing, that's our sport. Man against man, woman against woman. You don't get to say, coach, I'm tired. Bring that guy in off the bench and replace me. Oh no, you can't get that. You get a break 1 minute in between rounds. If you can't make it out there after that 1 minute, you lose. It's over. Okay? That's what makes it so great. It's just you. Now your coaches can sit there and holler instructions and everything to you, but you got to be the one to execute it. Nobody else. Man against man, woman against woman. The greatest sport of them all. Then in 1999, wait a minute. I went from 1995 all the way to 1999. 1996. Here's some information for you. In 1996, Christy Martin, the coal miner's daughter, Jay probably heard of her. Christy Martin fights Deirdre Gogarty. This fight is considered the birth of modern professional women's boxing in the United States, 1996. Okay? That wasn't too long ago. What is that? Like, what is this, 2024? It's like, what, 38 years? Not too long ago. Then in 1996, England lifted the ban on women's amateur boxing, okay? Well, another one bites the dust. England lifted their ban, okay? Then in 1997, USA Boxing holds its first national championship for women in 1997. Then in 1999, the Amateur International Boxing Association, or AIBA, ALBA, approves the first European Cup for women. And the European Cup is the international boxing competition. And they included women in 1999. Well, they approved the first European Cup for women in 1999. Then, in 2001, the first Women's World Amateur Boxing Championship takes place in Scranton, Pennsylvania, 2001. First Women's World Amateur Boxing Championship from Scranton, Scranton, PA. They're going to be up near there in July for the big JBT meet and greet. And you can win a 55-inch color TV. I want that thing bad. I think about buying me some tickets, but their parents of me when it wouldn't be good. But man, I got two 55 inches, but they're old. I want it. Okay. That was in 2001 that the first Women's World Amateur Boxing Championship was held. It was right here in the United States in Scranton. Okay. Now, in 2009, guess what? The International Olympic Committee, IOC, votes to lift the ban on women's boxing. Because remember, in 1904 in St. Louis, they had men's and women's boxing as just like a test type event. Remember, 1904. What exactly did they call that? Let me go back. 1904. Yeah. It was included in the Olympics as a display event in 1904. And they kept the men's boxing, but they didn't keep women's boxing in it. But finally, in 2009, the IOC, International Olympic Committee, votes to lift the ban on women's boxing in the Olympics, okay? And the next Olympics after that would have been 2012, right? Because it's every 4 years. So in 2011, women's boxing is included in the Pan American Games for the first time. So you know what that means? The IOC voted to lift the ban from women from the Olympics in 2009, and they was in the Pan American Games in 2011. So that next Olympics, 2012, women were in there. 2012, women's boxing debuted as an Olympic event for the first time since the game began. Because in 1904, it was just a display event. It was an official part of the Olympics in 2012. Women's boxing. Yay. And now, since 2012, women's boxing has steadily increased in popularity as women make history in the sport. Clarissa Shields, let me read that again. I have trouble reading my own handwriting sometimes. Since 2012, women's boxing has increased in popularity as women continually make history in the sport. Clarissa Shields, it's Clarissa on the screen, who has become a household name as a boxer, became the first person, male or female, to be an undisputed world champion in 2 weight classes in the 4-belt era. He was first, not Bud, not Monster, not Usyk. It was the GOAT. Then a few years later, in 2023, Katie Taylor joined Shields as a 2-division 4-belt world champion. And overall, there are only 5 boxers that have accomplished this feat, male or female, right? Clarissa was first, then Bud, then Katie, then the Monster, and Usyk just did his third of it. Now they stripped the belt from him, but they can't take that from him. He's in the books. It's one of the 5 to be 2-division undisputed in the 4-belt era. Can't strip him of that. And then in 2022, the fight between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor was the first time a female fight headlined the card at the world famous Madison Square Garden. Okay, it was the first time 2 women headlined at the Garden was in 2022. Remember that one? Between Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor got the win, but I thought Amanda won it. I really did. But they fighting again coming up. Is it July? Over there, I think it's in Dublin. Because they came, it's only fair. They fought at Amanda's hometown the first time, New York. But now it's going to be in Dublin, where Katie is from. Yeah. And that's coming. That's going to be a big fight. Big, huge fight. That's a huge fight just for boxing, not just women's boxing. Yeah. Little Jake Paul promoting. I like Jake Paul, you know. Yeah. He is doing right by women's boxing. He's been great for it. Now, right now, in 2024, women's boxing is at an all-time high as far as popularity goes. Okay? Now, we're going to look at 5 of the biggest female fights of all time. Okay? 5 of the biggest female fights of all time. Not the 5 biggest, 5 of the biggest. Okay? Of all time. Can we get that 40 likes today? The record is 34. If I get 40, the bag will be hit in the hangout tomorrow morning 400 times. I don't know who's going to hit it. That's the deal. Now, okay. The first one is, I told you my picture's kind of shaky today. I don't even know. Now, who is this? I have no idea who that is or how it even got in there. The first fight is wait a minute, man. Bear with me for a minute. I haven't got out of order. I gotta find the quote again. There she is. I don't know what happened. There must be a ghost in here or something. I didn't hit the button. But the first one fight we're gonna talk about is Cecilia Brækhus versus Anne Sophie Matthes. Okay. It's Cecilia on the right. Okay. YU. What's up, YU? Or you? How you doing today? Welcome to Cast Sports. We are talking about women's boxing. YU says what? Okay. I'll explain what, if you explain me what means you, but welcome. We're talking about women's boxing today, okay? Now, Cecilia, this is 5 of the biggest women's fights of all time. Cecilia Brækhus versus Anne Sophie Matthes. And this fight took place on October 1st, 2016. Okay? Now, Brækhus at the time of this fight happened, she was the gold standard of female boxing. She was leading the way for women's boxing at a time when it was very different from it is today, and that was just 8 years ago. And in those 8 years, women's boxing has really grown leaps and bounds. Now, the fight itself was short-lived. Brækhus knocked out Matthes inside of 2 rounds, okay? But the build-up was huge, and successfully defended her undisputed welterweight championship. Brækhus was undisputed at the time. Now, Brækhus was the first woman to be 4-belt undisputed, okay? The GOAT was the first one to do it in 2 different divisions, but Brækhus was the first woman to be undisputed in the 4-belt era. Cecilia Brækhus, okay? I think she's from Norway. And this fight lifted the ban on boxing in Norway, because before this fight, boxing was banned in Norway. Brækhus had to fight, outside of her country. But this fight, Norway lifted the ban, and this was the first fight in Norway. Men or women, boxing was banned there. Now, this ban had been in effect for over 3 decades. Okay? 3 decades. And Brækhus would go on to defend her undisputed title 3 more times after this fight. Al Booker in the building. Oh, Al Booker is speaking. What is that? What language is that, Al Booker? What do they speak in Norway? Let's salute to Al Booker in the building. Now, the next fight, we're talking about 5 of the biggest female fights of all time. The next one is Ali Frazier 4. Later, Ali versus Jackie Frazier Lyde. Okay, Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali's daughters. Okay, Ali Frazier 4. And this was on June 8th, 2009. No, excuse me, June 8th, 2001. Okay, June 8th, 2001. Now, Ali Frazier has shown a beaming light on female boxing at the turn of the millennium, right? 2001. Of course, these 2 were 2 heavyweight legends' daughters, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. And they squared off at the Turning Point Resort and Casino in New York. And both women putting their undefeated records on the line. Both came in undefeated. Okay? And what a fight it was. They went at each other the entire fight. Now, Ali won a majority decision, and she improved her record to 24-10-0 at the time. And Ali would continue her career undefeated. She never was beaten. Picked up the WBC world title in the process. And after this fight, Jackie Frazier-Lyde never lost again. Ended her career with one loss, and she ended up at heavyweight. Ali Frazier 4. The next fight is Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. Took place on October 15th, 2022. The day after my birthday. And also Emma Queen's birthday. October 14th. This is October 15th, 2022. A couple years ago. Now, these two women met to decide who was the greatest female middleweight on the planet. And all 4 world titles were on the line, remember? It was in London. Sky Sports and Boxer put this fight together. And it was an all-female card at the O2 Arena. And besides Shields and Marshall, the card also included Michaela Mayer, Alicia Baumgardner, and Caroline Dubois. And Shields handed Marshall her first career defeat in this fight with a unanimous decision win. And she avenged the loss she had to Marshall in the Olympics, remember? And this event was historic and record-breaking, being the first time 2 female fighters had headlined a card in the United Kingdom. And this card was broadcast around the world on Sky Sports and ESPN. Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. I know y'all remember that one. Then the next one is Katie Taylor versus Chantel Cameron. No. The next one is Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano in the Garden. That's the one I was talking about a little while ago. Go a little bit deeper into it. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, April 30th, 2022. Now, the boxing world was excited ahead of 2 of the biggest names in female boxing going to battle at Madison Square Garden in New York in 2022. Remember, the first female fight to headline the card at the Garden. After 10 action-packed rounds, Taylor claimed a split decision victory over Serrano. I thought Amanda won it, but the judges didn't, and that's who counts. It was another historic moment for women's boxing. The fight was the first female fight to headline at the Madison Square Garden. And Ring Magazine awarded this fight the event of the year. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Now, the one I was talking about before, Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron. They had actually had a rematch too. Remember that one? May 20th, 2023, that was the first one. They rematched later that year. I think it was in November. Now, Katie Taylor went up a weight class to challenge Cameron. And this was in Dublin, Ireland, where Taylor hails from. Now, both women came into the fight as 4-belt undisputed champions. And this was Katie's first fight in Ireland after 22 professional fights before this. It was her first fight there. And Ireland had turned its back on boxing before this due to gangland murder at the Regency Hotel doing a weigh-in 2016. Mm-hmm. And the Taylor-Cameron fight was huge for Ireland, with many boxing stars flying in to witness it. Now, Taylor struggled with Cameron, and Cameron won by the majority decision. And Cameron was actually a replacement in this fight. It was supposed to be Amanda Serrano, the rematch, remember? But they didn't have it at that time. Cameron stepped in. That rematch is coming up, I believe it's July. And they did have a rematch later that same year, which Taylor won by majority decision. I thought they should have had a trilogy because both those fights were by majority decision, right? Very close fights, both of them. That had trilogy written all over it, but we didn't get it. Okay? Now, let's talk about some women's boxing. Okay? A bunch of women's boxers I'm going to profile today, since we're always talking about the men's boxing. Like I said, women get in there and put it on the line for us too. Okay? And I've been on 18 likes for a long time, but it's okay. Now, the profiles. Now, women's boxing is thriving today, with many great fighters reigning as world champions and regularly showcasing their talents on the biggest stages of the sport. Okay, first is going to be Laila Ali. Here's Laila. I told you my pictures ain't all that good. I don't know what was going on. I got it fixed later on, though. You with me for a minute. I'm going to drop that down another notch. Okay? Yeah, then I'm going to come back up to Laila Ali. That's the first profile we're going to do. There's Laila. She was already up there. Laila Ali. Now, she finished her career with a record of 24 wins, no losses. And get this, 21 knockouts. 87% knockout rate. That is great for a women's boxer. 87% knockout rate, man. That is a great knockout rate for any boxer, man or woman. Okay, 87%. 24 victories, 21 knockouts. Now, of course, Ali is a surname that's synonymous with boxing. And despite being the daughter of the greatest heavyweight in boxing history, Laila Ali overcame legendary stereotypes to become, and she forged her own illustrious career, okay? She became a trailblazer for women's boxing, and she left a lasting legacy in the ring, being crowned world champion in 2 divisions and finishing with an undefeated record. And she made history and set up a more prosperous future for female fighters that came after her. And her fight with Jackie Frazier that we talked about, Jackie Frazier lied, the daughter of Joe Frazier, that was the first ever main event pay-per-view fight between 2 women. Now, outside of the ring, Laila Ali has inspired and motivated many young women through her work in the media and other written publications. Laila Ali. Okay. Next, of course, is Ann Wolfe. Ann Wolfe. They never fought. Everybody wanted to see that one. Now, Ann Wolfe finished her career with 24 wins, just 1 loss, 16 knockouts. I can't remember who beat her, but she had 25 fights, only 1 loss, and 16 knockouts. And that's not bad neither. 16 or 24 knockouts. Mm-hmm. And Ann Wolfe was regarded as the most devastating women's boxer there's ever been. Okay. She was a destructive puncher at the height of her career. Now, she had to endure the loss of both her parents at a very young age, as well as jail time and a period of homelessness while looking after her own children. But she still rose to the pinnacle of her boxing career despite all of those obstacles and setbacks in her life. She had world titles in 3 weight divisions simultaneously. Okay? 3 world titles simultaneously. And then she switched to coaching. And she trained world title challenger James Kirkland, among others. And Wolf has long been extremely vocal against domestic and child abuse. Yes, she has. And Wolf. Yes, she is too. Attractive too. And Wolf. Beautiful smile. That's one of the pictures that wasn't too good. And this is Lucia Ritschker. I guess that's how you pronounce her name. I meant to go on that thing where it does pronunciation for you, but I didn't. But I'm going to put it in here so you can pronounce it, but she's nice. Lucia Rijker. There it is right there. Lucia. I'll call her Lucia. I know the first name is right. Okay. Be with me for 1 second. Then we're going to get on to Lucia. Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness. Went out. Okay. I'll get it back. Lucia Ritschker. Now, she finished her career with 17 wins, no losses, 14 knockouts. Another good knockout rate. Now, she was the most successful and famous female athletes in history. She is considered by many to be the best female boxer ever. Arguably. Lucia was bad, yeah. She was known as the world's most dangerous woman during her prime. During her prime, known as the world's most dangerous woman. She was also a kickboxing champion before she started boxing. Okay, and she was a junior welterweight champion and in kickboxing. Okay. And she was one of the first 3 women to ever be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. Yep. Now, outside of boxing, she inspired others through her motivational speaking and seminars. Okay. And she gave those speeches and seminars to fellow athletes and people from all walks of life. Lucia. Holly Holm. Now, Holly Holm, she had a total of 38 fights. She won 33, lost 2. She had 3 draws and 9 knockouts. Now, she was a former UFC champion also, Holly Holm. Called herself the Preacher's Daughter. And she's the only fighter to hold a world boxing title and a UFC title. Okay. And she said she was a boxer before MMA. Now, she made her boxing debut in 2002. And she won the IBA light welterweight title, as well as the WBA, the IFBA, WIBA, IBA, and GBU welterweight titles. And she's beaten the likes of Ann Sophie Mathis, Diana Prazak, Christy Martin, Mia St. John, and Mary Jo Saunders. Okay, and that's the who's who of that era when it comes to women fighters, man. Those are some big names there. Now, while MMA ended up being her her last home, boxing still holds a special place in her heart. Okay, Holly Holm. And then the coal miner's daughter, Christy Martin. The coal miner's daughter, Christy Martin. Bear with me for a minute. I'm trying to get this other thing up here. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why it went out on me. Had to get me a new phone. Is everybody okay today? This Thursday, headed for the weekend. We got a card tomorrow. I believe we got 3 Saturday. But the big one is Josh Taylor. I always get them mixed up. Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall, right? Yeah. Okay, the coal miner's daughter, Christy Martin. There she is. Putting it left on somebody. Okay. Now, Christy Martin, she had 59 fights in her career. She won 49, lost 7. She had 3 draws, and she won 32 by way of knockout. Now, she was one of the most important figures in women's boxing history. Bam. Her longevity and tough nature has cemented her status as one of the top fighters in boxing history. Not just women. She was a very important figure in women's boxing, but she was one of the toughest in boxing history. And longevity, remember? She had 59 fights altogether. One of the top fighters in boxing history. The coal miner's daughter. She made her debut in 1989, her professional debut, way back in 1989. And she ended up winning the WBC super welterweight title in 2009. 20 years later. Remember? I just talked about longevity for her. And she was the first female to ever be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Was the coal miner's daughter. She led the way. Regina Halmich. She had 56 fights. She won 54, lost 1, had 1 draw, 16 knockouts. Okay. Okay, excuse me. Okay. Yeah, Regina Halmich. Now, boxing fans in the United States may not be familiar with her, but Regina Halmich is considered one of the most influential boxers of all time. She's from Germany. She helped popularize the sport in Europe, popularize women's boxing in Europe. She won the IBF flyweight title in 1995. And guess what? She defended it a total of 29 times. 29 times. Remember, she only lost 1 fight in her career. 29 title defense. And she also won the IBF super flyweight title and the IBF junior flyweight. So she had the flyweight, super flyweight, and junior flyweight titles. Okay? Outside of fighting, she pursued modeling, and she owned her own cosmetics business. And with 16 wins via knockout, Halmich was someone who meant business in and out of the ring. Regina Halmich. Mia St. John is next. There's Mia. No, that's not Mia. That's a Randy. That's Denise's. Oh, I know where Mia St. John is at. Uh, yeah, that's who that was way up there. Okay, so we're not going to be able to see Mia. But Mia had 50, wait a minute now, 65 fights. Mia had a total of 65 fights. She won 49, she lost 14, and she had 2 draws with 19 knockouts. And she made her professional boxing debut in 1997. Okay. And she fought a lady by the name of Angelica Villian. And that fight earned her nickname, The Knockout. That was her nickname, The Knockout. Wait a minute, I gotta find me. She is a knockout too. Here she is. I don't know how I got mixed up like this. Yeah, that's Mia. Okay. Now that fight, when she earned her nickname, The Knockout, guess what? She knocked out Angelica Villian in 54 seconds of the first round. 54 seconds. And she was a former WBC super welterweight world champion. And after most people first saw Mia the first time, they thought she was a model. But she was a volume punching fighter, and she had the capability of ending a fight with one punch. Yes, she did. Mia St. John. Okay. Mia got me a little out of order. Next is Katie Taylor. Oh, that's not Katie. Oh my goodness. Where's Katie Taylor at? I got her. There she is. I know what Katie looks like. That's Katie Taylor. Now, to date, Katie Taylor has 24 fights. Okay. She's 23-1 with 6 knockouts. The Pigpen says sad. What did you say about the Pigpen? Okay. Katie Taylor, 23-1 with 6 knockouts. Now she's a modern day pioneer for women's boxing. Katie Taylor has already achieved greatness, and she's still active. And she achieved greatness in the ring as an amateur and a professional boxer. She was an Olympic gold medalist in 2012. That was the first year they allowed women in the Olympics, remember? And remember, she's only one of 5 boxers to be undisputed in 2 divisions in the 4-belt era. And when she was young, she pretended to be a boy so she would be allowed to box. And she is helping to open the door for many young girls coming into the sport. And despite all the hardware she's won throughout her amateur and professional careers, she says, helping to popularize the sport for the women that came behind her is what she cherishes the most. Katie Taylor. Okay. Bear with me for 1 minute. So we got to talk about Claressa. The GOAT. Claressa Shields. The GOAT. Of course, 14-0. Just 2 knockouts. Just 2 knockouts. Now, Claressa is a dominant force in the ring. She has already cemented her legacy as one of the best female boxers in history. Already. Still active. And she's a front runner for being called the GOAT. And she was the first American, again, male or female, to ever win back-to-back Olympic gold medals. And she did that before taking over the pro ranks. And as a pro, she was the first fighter in the 4-belt era to become a 2-division undisputed champion, remember? And Claressa is fiercely driven when the gloves are off also. She's a longtime advocate for equal pay and other opportunities for female athletes, not just boxers, female athletes. And she has relentlessly pushed the networks to make changes to the current structure and system. Claressa Shields. Okay, Amanda Serrano is next. Amanda Serrano. There she is. Okay. Amanda Serrano. She has 49 fights, 46 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 30 knockouts. And she's one of the most decorated boxers of all time. Again, male or female. She's a 7-weight world champion. She made her pro debut in 2009. And she has moved up and down through the weight classes with great success. And she has one of the best resumes in the women's game, with wins over names like Eva Vorarlberger, Yasmin Rivas, Heather Hardy, Daniela Romina, and Fatuma Zarika. And not only is she a talented boxer, she also competes in MMA fights. And she also has shown an interest in pro wrestling. And she's just one behind Manny Pacquiao when it comes to the record of titles in different weight classes. And she's still active, okay? So Amanda has a shot, you know? Manny is retired. Amanda is just one behind him. Manny has 8, Amanda has 7. Okay? That's Seniesa Estrada. Seniesa Estrada is next. The pig pen. The pig pen is sad, so you can go be sad somewhere else. Let the doorknob hit you. Okay, Seniesa Estrada is 26-0 with 9 KOs. The doorknob hit you with a good Lord split you. Well, that's the pigeon. I thought it was a pig pen. whoever he is. He's gone. Okay. Denise Estrada, 26-0, 9 knockouts. She calls herself Super Bad, okay? And she's been fighting professionally for 12 years. And she's lived up to that name, Super Bad, 26-0. From Los Angeles, California. And she scored the fastest knockout in women's boxing history. Guess how long it was? She knocked out Miranda Atkins in just 7 seconds. So that's probably the fastest knockout in boxing history, period. 7 seconds. Anybody heard anybody get knocked out faster than 7 seconds? Denise Estrada knocked out Miranda Atkins in 30 seconds. Okay. Now the thing said the fastest in women's boxing history, but I think that's the fastest in any boxing history. Okay. She's 30 years old. And she's a puncher. She's had world titles at light flyweight. And she scored notable wins over Marlon Esparza, Annabelle Ortiz, Tenkai Tsunami, and Tina Ruprecht. Yep. Denise. That's Chantel Cameron right there. Chantel Cameron. Chantel Cameron. Okay. You with me for 1 minute. Again. Be right with you. Little technical difficulty, but nothing. Okay, here we go. Chantel Cameron. Now, Chantel has had 19 fights, okay? 18-1 with 8 knockouts. Now, she was sensational in that first fight with Katie Taylor. That was Katie Taylor's first professional loss. That was last May 2023. And she was extremely competitive in the rematch, despite the loss, okay? And she always operates on an elite level. Looking forward to mixing up with the best in 2024. Now, she's from Northampton. And she began at super lightweight in 2020. And in 2022, she became undisputed, okay? In the 4-belt era. By beating Victoria Bustos and Jessica McCaskill, 2 huge names in women's boxing. Okay? And she was undisputed at super lightweight. Chantel Cameron. Natasha Jonas is next. So we're going to go over a lot of women today. Natasha Jonas. Here's Natasha. Okay, Natasha Jonas. 17 fights, 14 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 9 knockouts. And she's a former Olympian. She had her 1 draw with Terry Harper. Terry Harper was the WBC super featherweight champion at the time of that fight. Okay. She's from Liverpool. And fights out of the Southpaw stance. And over the past year, she's knocked out, she's 38 years old, by the way, but she's knocked out Chris Namas, like around TKO, Patricia Banghut, and Marie-Eve Dicaire. Become unified at 154. Natasha Jonas. Delphine Persoon, the veteran. Delphine. Yeah, that was quite a fight she had with Katie Taylor a few years back. Delphine. He's been fighting a long time. Everybody okay? This Thursday afternoon, headed for the weekend. Got a card tomorrow this week. Yeah, we got a Friday card. And 3 Saturday. The big one is Jack Catterall versus Josh Taylor, the rematch. Looking forward to that one. Everybody see that breakdown that McQueen did on it? Now, Delphine Persoon has 51 fights. She's won 43 and lost 3 with 19 knockouts. She's a former WBC lightweight champion. Now, she made 9 defenses of the WBC lightweight title. But like I was just saying, she is best known for pushing Katie Taylor to the limit in June 2019. And many people felt that Persoon won the fight. Okay. She's a volume puncher. And like I said, a lot of people think she came out on the wrong end of the split decision loss to Katie Taylor. And then they had a rematch, another hard-fought fight, but Katie Taylor got a unanimous decision in the rematch. Okay. Now, Delphine is closer to the end of her career than the beginning, 38 years old. But she remains a hard night's work for anyone at super featherweight. Yes, she is. It's a hard night's work for anybody. Savannah Marshall. Savannah Marshall. Now, although Amanda Serrano might argue, Savannah Marshall is widely thought of as the hardest pound-for-pound puncher in the women's game. 77% knockout rate. And some of her stoppages have been devastating. 31 years old. Remember I told you she lost her unbeaten record to Claressa Shields. 10-round unanimous decision for Claressa. But Savannah bounced back nicely. She won the undisputed title from Franchon Cruz. Okay. And Savannah has been out of action since then. Okay. I think she dropped the WBC belt. Okay, winding down. Next is Dina Thorslund. There's Dina. Dina Thorslund. I ain't gonna say nothing. But that's Dina. Dina looks like she's ready. Dina looks like a rough customer. Don't she? Wait a minute. Dina Thorslund. Okay. Now she's Danish. Been at the world level for going on 6 years now. Now, after she won the vacant WBO bantamweight title, she defended it 3 times. Then she decided to drop it. She went down in weight. She tried to get another title at bantamweight. Now she defeated Jacef Noriega to win the WBO crown. And then she made another 3 defenses of it. Then she got the WBC and ring titles from Yola Avila, Dina Thorslund. And finally, Yokasta Valle. This last, Yokasta Valle. Now she's a multiple world title winner. Yokasta from Costa Rica. She's an exceptional technician. Okay. After winning the IBF bantamweight title, Vale moved up to light flyweight and suffered a pair of setbacks. But then she did get the IBF crown, okay, at 105. And since then, she's made 9 title defenses and also added the WBO 105 title. Now everybody's waiting for a potential matchup with Seniesa Estrada. And if they make that fight between Yokasta Vale and Seniesa Estrada, that will be one of the biggest fights in women's boxing right there. Yeah. And there you have it, women in boxing. And don't forget, tomorrow is the profile. The Will Over With, Willie Pep, is this week's profile. We got about 20 minutes before The Voice, so I'm going to put the link in the chat. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. I enjoyed bringing it to you. It's Thursday, close to the weekend and fight time. So we had fights last night, remember? Ivan Redkach was on the card. He got stopped. I think, what was it, the 5th round? Where Redkach got stopped in, I believe. Because Ukraine had been on a run. You know, Redkach from Ukraine. Remember, Loma? Got Kambosos out of there. Usyk beat Fury. And then Dennis Berinchek, whatever his name is. He beat Navarrete. But Ivan Redkach stopped the streak. He lost last night. It's still 3 out of 4. That ain't too bad. Ain't too bad at all. And Redkach is a veteran. Bomac was on ProBox last night too, remember? Everybody see Bomac? He had the guy that beat Redkach. Bud was there. Oh shoot. Wait a minute, bear with me. Yeah, Bud was there. Yeah. I guess Bud getting ready for his August 3rd against Madrimov. That is a great card. Pitbull on it. Pitbull and Rayo. And then Virgil and Tim Tszyu. That's what I'm waiting for. That's going to be fan friendly. If you put fan friendly in the dictionary, just put a picture of Virgil and Tim Tszyu beside it. Very fan friendly fight. And remember, we got the Face of Boxing coming up next month. And Matias and Liam Perra was on the same day. Isn't that something? Them 2 great fights on the same day. That's going to be a big Saturday. The boxing is in great shape. 24 took up right where 23 left off. And now has surpassed it, I think. I'm working on this link. If everybody want to chop it up for the last 15, 20 minutes of the show. Or if not, now what the hell is that? Oh, that's an 8. Here it is. Yeah. Yeah, I had almost missed ProBox last night because I almost forgot about it. I was in this guy's chat. I think it was the Boxing Source, and he said he was watching. I said, "Oh, that's right, ProBox is on." But it turned out to be okay. I saw the last 3 fights. Part of the one before the co-main, the whole co-main, and the last one. And Blue Nose had a good fight. That was about the best fight on the card. Cardoso and Blue Nose Lopez. Yeah. Blue Nose got a great resume. Oscar Valdez twice. He's got Isaac Dogby on it. Who else does Blue Nose have on his resume? Let me check it out. Isaac Dogby, Oscar twice. He lost to Oscar twice, of course. But he's been in there with him. Yes, he has. Ivan Blue Nose. I'll be glad when they bring Pro Boxer every week. There ain't nothing like some midweek boxing where we don't have to wait all the way till Saturday. This is what, like the 4th or 5th Friday card we done had? I'm trying to see who Blue Nose has on his resume real quick. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Isaac Dogby, Oscar Valdez, oh yeah, Abraham Nova, that's who I was looking for. Abraham Nova is also on Blue Nose's resume, that's right. Abraham Nova. And I got a good profile for you tomorrow. Willie Pep. Those big 4 fights with Sandy Sadler. The 4th one was nasty. They kept grappling and going to the mat so much. One time they took the referee to the mat with them. But they became best of friends after their careers, though. Yeah. After beating each other up 4 times, became best friends. NBA playoff tonight, game 2. Indiana at Boston. Boston up 1-0. NBA version of the Final Four. Got the NHL playoffs too. Baseball rolling along strong. Great time to be a sports fan. Next month is, June, and then you know what happens in July. They go to training camp, get geared up for that NFL season. I don't know what the Ravens going to do this year. They had their best shot last year. They had the squad, but, on paper, on paper doesn't get it done. You got to transfer that on paper to the playing field, and they didn't do it. Just inexperience. Kansas City looked like a team that had been in 4 straight conference championship games. And the Ravens looked like a team that only had 1 player on their roster that had ever been in a conference championship game. They kind of choked. But Lamar showed he was worth all that money he got because, all he did was lead them to the conference championship game and win another MVP award. So we still got Lamar. And without him, we're in the AFC North basement looking up. Should win the conference next year, though. Again, we should. And then after tomorrow's profile, I got another big week planned for you. And any shows anybody want to see, don't forget, put it in the chat. And I'll do them. I have it set up where Wednesday is the day where I do shows that's suggested to me. And you can also request somebody to be profiled on Friday. Corey says, keep beating my Niners. Keep beating my Niners. Kansas City, yeah. That was crazy last year's Super Bowl. I saw when San Francisco, remember in overtime, San Francisco went and got that field goal and they showed Mahomes and I could see it in his eyes. He said, y'all done messed up now. And they went straight down and got the touchdown. And then on the touchdown, how can a guy get so wide open in sudden death overtime in the Super Bowl, man? That's a credit to Andy Reid and that play calling, man. They set that thing up. That guy was wide open for the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. It wasn't a San Francisco player in the picture. That was crazy. But don't feel bad, Horry. They beat up on my Ravens too. They stopped us from getting there. Mahomes is one of the people. It's like 4 people I would never bet against. Mahomes in sports. Mahomes, Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. I think those are the 3. Yeah, 3 of them. I'd never bet against them. Never. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, or Michael Jordan? Never bet against them three. They got that knack. They are winners, man. They do what it takes. Remember that year the Patriots was behind 28-0 at halftime to Atlanta? Came back in the second half and won it. Tom Brady was over there on the sideline, still pumping everybody up. Down 28-0. Like, yeah, we can still win this thing. And they did it. They still won it. Yep. Wouldn't let them lose. And then went to a new team. Went down Tampa Bay and won another one. Man, show how bad it is. Brought Gronk out of retirement. Mm-hmm. And New England hadn't been worth anything since he left. Nope. New England hadn't won nothing. Had they even been to the playoffs since he left? Now Bill Belichick is gone. Did anybody pick him up? Yeah, Belichick left too. Dallas was talking about him, but I haven't heard it of anybody picking Bill Belichick up yet. But I'm sure he's had offers. I am sure he had offers. Michael Adams. Oh, did Mike dirty? Michael, yeah, I remember little Michael Adams. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. And he finally ended up on the Bullets. Remember, Horry? Yeah. He came at the end of his career. First, he went to the Bullets as a VP or somebody in the front office. Then he ended up playing. Yeah. And hit 50 too one night. I remember that night. He hit 50 as a Bullet. Yeah, that was big. It's that Michael Jordan still got it. Mm-hmm. But if he hadn't retired missed those 2 seasons, they would have had 8 straight. Mm-hmm. Remember the 3-peat? Gone 2 years, come back another 3-peat. It would have been 8 straight. If he'd have been there for those other 2 years, it would have been 8 straight. Wasn't nobody beating Chicago. And then when they got Rodman, that was it. That put the icing on the cake. When they got Dennis Rodman, who could beat that team? Dennis Rodman I think he got 5 rings too. Mm-hmm. With Detroit, San Diego, and Chicago. I don't know how many he got with Detroit, 2. Yeah, I think he got about 4 or 5. Yep. The Worm. Kind of weird off the court, but the man could play some ball. Yeah. James Worthy said, Robin just get on your nerves, man. He said he in there feeling him on the butt when he guarding him and stuff. Robin knew how to get you out of the game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dennis Rodman. In the Hall of Fame, too. The man could get those rebounds. And he wasn't all that big. What was he, like 6'8"? Yeah, he was a beast, man. Rodman was a beast. There was only 2 people that could guard Shaq and keep him in control. It was Rodman and the mailman, Karl Malone. Mm-hmm. Them 2. Yeah. And Shaq was what, like 7'1"? Was Rodman like 6'8"? Maybe 6'9", but I would say like 6'8". Yeah. Mike Grimm said the Vikings is winning it this year. Okay. The Vikings? Vikings. I'm gonna have to check on them. The Vikings. They still got who's the quarterback? The guy they got from the Redskins. Well, not the Redskins, the Commanders. Yeah. They made them change the names, and the Indians was the only ones that wasn't complaining about it. They didn't care. It was everybody else. I don't understand that. They had a couple of college teams called themselves the Redskins too. I guess they had to change. I thought that was crazy. That's the name. That's not the form of disrespect. Look how long they had it. And all of a sudden they make them change it. That was crazy. good and crazy. But it's just a great time to be a sports fan. Football will be back soon, kind of soon, not soon, but we coming to June is next week. For the next month they'll start training camp, and you start seeing some. Do they still have preseason games? Well, most teams don't even play the starters anymore in preseason games. But see, if they take preseason games, they're going to add more games to the season. They're up to 17 now already in the regular season. Remember, 17 games. I remember when it was 14. Oh, Sam Darnold. Right. That's right. They got rid of the other guy. I can't think of his name. Yeah. They wasn't going nowhere with him, the first guy. And they got Justin Jefferson. So he made a believer out of me. That year they was playing Buffalo, and I was saying they giving you all this hype, do something. And he made that catch. I know you know the catch I'm talking about, Mike Grimm. That Justin Jefferson made a couple seasons ago against Buffalo. The one where Buffalo had the ball on the 1 yard line, and all they had to do was nail. Well, they was on the one backed up against the goal line, but the game was almost over. All they had to do was kneel down, and Josh Allen some kind of way fumbled the ball. Yeah. Kirk Cousins, that's him. Kirk Cousins. That's who I was trying to think of. Yep. Oh, Kirk. Yeah, they wasn't going to go anywhere with Kirk. Kirk was just good. He wasn't like elite or anything like that. Yeah. He was just good. Yeah, Kirk Cousins. That's who I was trying to think of. Oh, Kirk. Okay. 5 minutes away from The Voice. Tomorrow is Profile Day. Willie Pep. One of the greatest defensive fighters of all time and one of the greatest featherweights of all time. We're going to talk about him tomorrow. His life and career. His 4 fights with Sandy Sadler, all of them. So make sure you come by for that. Don't bring no trolls with you. Just kidding. I still don't know what's his name again? What he was sad about. I thought it was Pigpen, but it was Pigeon. This morning I saw Pigpen. Pigeon. Okay. All right, it's time for The Voice. I'm getting ready to get on up out of here. Be back tomorrow at 2 for Friday. Willie Pep. Appreciate everybody that stopped by today. Al Booger, YU, Ray Patterson, J Hardcore, hashtag JBT, Melanin Queen 27, Let's Talk Fashion, aka Remo, hashtag JBT, Thomas Hill, hashtag JBT, Mike Grimm, Corey Faints, 757, hashtag JBT, Just Do Boxing, Mike Masick, and Miss Cass, hashtag JBT. Appreciate everybody. Still early. Got The Voice and then the Rise podcast at 9:00 p.m. tonight. Maybe a Casuals Corner or be in Boxing News. We'll see. But we know we got Just Do Boxing and the Rise podcast for sure. Everybody have a great day. Gas Sports.